If you got a raise this year, watch this before you touch that extra money. I'm going to show you two people who earned identical incomes for 30 years and why only one of them actually got rich. The difference will probably surprise you. Meet Sarah and meet Mike. Same college graduation year, same starting salary, same city, same 40-year career in the same industry. For 30 straight years, they earned almost the exact same income, give or take a few $1,000s a year. When they both retired at 60, Sarah had $1.4 million in net worth. Mike had about $80,000 and was still paying off a car loan. Same income, completely different lives. So what actually happened? Let's start with year one. Sarah and Mike both graduate and land jobs paying $45,000 a year. Mike moves into a nice one-bedroom apartment close to downtown. Sarah takes a smaller place further out, a little less exciting, a lot cheaper. Nobody notices this decision. It seems small. It is not small. It is the first domino. Fast forward 5 years, both of them get promoted. Both are now making $65,000 a year. Mike upgrades his car to a new SUV because he can finally afford the payment. Sarah keeps driving her 7-year-old sedan because it still runs fine. Again, nobody notices. Nobody claps for Sarah at a party for driving an old car. But this is domino number 2. By year 10, they are both making $85,000 a year. This is where the gap actually starts to become visible, if you were watching closely. Mike has a mortgage on a bigger house than he needs, 2 car payments, and a lifestyle that quietly expanded every single time his income did. Sarah bought a smaller home than she could technically afford, kept investing the difference between her income and Mike's spending pattern, and never increased her monthly expenses at the same rate as her raises. Here's the part most people miss. Sarah was not living like a monk. She still went on vacations. She still went out to dinner. She was not depriving herself. She simply let her spending grow slower than her income grew. That gap, the space between what you earn and what you spend, is where wealth is actually built. It is not glamorous. It does not show up on social media, but it is the entire game. By year 20, both are earning around $120,000 a year, close to the peak of their careers. Mike is still keeping up. From the outside, his life looks great. Nice house, nice cars, nice vacations. But almost nothing has been saved, because every raise turned into a slightly nicer version of the same lifestyle. Sarah, on the other hand, has been quietly investing 15 to 20% of her income for 2 decades. She is not rich yet, but the math underneath her life has completely shifted. Compound growth has had 20 years to work in the background while she was not paying attention to it. This is the part that changes everything. Because money that has been growing for 20 years does not behave like money that has been growing for 5. It starts moving on its own. By year 30, both are ready to retire around age 60. Mike has some retirement savings, but nowhere near enough, plus lingering debt from the lifestyle he built along the way. His retirement is going to depend heavily on Social Security and probably working part-time. Sarah retires with $1.4 million, most of which she did not feel saving because it was automatic and it grew quietly for 3 decades. Same income the entire time. The only difference was the gap between earning and spending, and what happened to that gap every single year. Here's the uncomfortable truth in all of this. Mike was not reckless. He was not irresponsible by most people's standards. He paid his bills. He did not go into crazy debt. He just did what almost everyone does, which is let his lifestyle rise exactly in step with his income. That is the default setting for most people. And it feels completely normal because everyone around you is doing the same thing. Sarah just broke that default setting, not through some extreme sacrifice, but through one consistent decision repeated for 30 years. Keep spending growth slower than income growth, and let the difference compound. If you remember one thing from this video, remember this: it is not about how much you earn. It is about the size of the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and what you do with that gap over time. If you found this useful, subscribe for more breakdowns like this one, and let me know in the comments. Are you more like Sarah, or more like Mike right now?